Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-November 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Leo. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But with that being said, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take just a general look at the remainder of November. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and the fifth and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, take a look at your crystal of the month, and do a healing note. But again, let's go ahead and jump in. Again, column number 1, which is wrapping up and coming to a close, so the last few weeks or month. We have the card Surface. Surface is an interesting card, but one that I really like. With Surface, I like to tell people, like, kind of imagine having a bubble around you, and that bubble only lets in good things, and everything bad kind of just bounces off the bubble. So it's about having that surface level protection. So in general, good energy to have there, Leo. Let's go ahead and take a look and see, though, what other messages we have coming through here. Oops, sorry, I just bumped the camera. Make sure everything's in frame. Okay, the first card that we have is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, if you take a look at this card, it's almost like a finish line with the wands and the garland in between. So oftentimes this is a card of completion. It is also a card of celebration. You see the people in the background of the card with their hands up celebrating. So I would say that you did complete something these last 2 weeks, and due to that completion, that's then something that we were celebrating, Leo. The next card that we have is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of mastering your craft, enjoying your employment. It's that work smarter, not harder type energy. The one thing I really like about the Eight of Pentacles, though, is when I see this card, I know that your hard work is going to be paying off. Which it seems like it did these last few weeks. Like you were working hard towards something, and then you were able to complete whatever that is that you were working on. At the bottom here, we also have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a very nostalgic card. It's a card of reflection. There's a really innocent kind of stigma that goes along with this card as well. For some of you also, there might have been a reunion. The Six of Cups can be a card of reunions as well. But it seems like there was some sort of reflection that was happening there. Let's go ahead and clarify and see what other messages I can give you on this first column. The first clarifier we have is the Hermit. The Hermit is a card of going within for clarity. It's making sure that you're on your own personal path, your quest for spiritual illumination. And I really like this here, Leo, because whatever this is that you just accomplished, it's not like you just finished something. It's so much more meaningful than that. It's like almost like this is putting you on your life path, or this is confirming it was the right move. It was the thing you needed to do. So again, it's so much more meaningful than just completing something. The next card that we have is the Temperance card. The Temperance card is a card of balance, harmony, moderation. I like to see this. Whatever this is could have been consuming a lot of time. You were working really hard on this consistently. So there's going to be some like give and take in time now. Like work-life balance is going to balance out, and you're going to start having some free time or downtime again now that we've completed this. So good to see just balance in general. We always like that. The next card that we have is the Judgment card. The Judgment card is a card that's always favorable for you, Leo. But this is about going within for clarity and potentially making a decision. Going back to what we were saying with the Six of Cups, it's very much so like nostalgic or reflecting. And you could be using past experiences to guide you to this decision with the Judgment card. I will say We kind of talked with the Six of Cups like a card of innocence. I could see somebody potentially like misinterpreting this decision, like taking it in a hurtful way when it didn't mean to be hurtful. That doesn't apply for all of you, but again, that seems to be there. But again, it was an innocent decision. There was like no harm meant by it. But definitely a decision, and again, using kind of past experiences to guide us on the decision. This is also a card of life's purpose. We were talking about life's purpose with the Hermit too. Again, a decision that needed to be made to make sure you were kind of on the right path for yourself there. Okay, Leo, let's go and take a look at our next column, which is just in general what's going to happen for the remainder of November. We have the card Stretch. Stretch is an interesting one. It means typically that things may be a little bit more challenging than they may typically be, having to stretch a little bit further, maybe taking a little bit more time, a little bit more effort. Still getting things done, but again, maybe not as easy as we would like to. The first card in this column is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a card of going through a necessary transition. I know this card looks a little gloomy, but it's actually one I really like, Leo. You see everybody is facing away from us. Their heads are hanging low. Their sword stuck in the boat, but the boat is moving in a forward, positive direction. So really going through this transition. I'm even like hearing that like some of these obstacles are necessary, which sounds kind of odd. But you really want to stay focused on this and know that you're going to the right place. I guess don't get discouraged when things do pop up where they take a little bit more time or they're a little bit more effort than you would have liked them to be. Because again, you're going where you need to be going on this Six of Swords boat. The next card that we have is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is a card of feeling like compromise. Again, there's going to be these things that pop up. You're going to have to stretch and reach a little bit further and things will be a little bit more challenging. So it's going to kind of feel like a compromise. It's not going to feel like exactly what you wanted. But again, remember that the Six of Swords, the boat is taking you exactly where you need to be. And at the bottom here, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a very spiritual, very intuitive card. I always tell people that it's critical to trust your intuition, trust your gut when you see the High Priestess. This again is very, very close, very, very high vibration. And it's all about being able to trust yourself to navigate through. So definitely use your gut feeling, use your intuition going into these next few weeks. Let's clarify and see what other types of messages I can give you here. The first clarifier we have is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is very studious, very hardworking. Again, keep pushing forward on this transition no matter what, even if it gets a little challenging. The next card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of delayed success, waiting, patience. You look at this person, they planted their pentacles and now they're having to wait for them to grow. Again, things could just move slower than we were planning. Things could be more challenging than we planned. In this case, it feels like more of a delay than challenges. Again, and that's where that kind of feeling of compromise or dissatisfaction is coming from with the Two of Swords. Now at the bottom here we have the repeat Six of Swords. Again, we're going through this transition. This boat is taking us in a forward positive direction, taking us exactly where we need to be going. And just trust your intuition through that transition. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. I actually bought a new deck of cards, so I'm going to pull you a card to kick off the money column here. It says, living plants are great for growing wealth. Set an intention with your plants each time you water them. Okay, so for this column, think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, really anything you associate with money, Leo. The first card that we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of obstacles, challenges, rivalry. This isn't typically the card I see for competition, but I actually feel like there could be like some competition for you at work this month, Leo. Or perhaps you're trying to buy a house and there's another person like bidding against you. There feels like financial competition. We're going to take a look at this a little bit closer. But just be aware of that. The nice thing with the Five of Wands is like, it's not like they're fighting with swords, they're fighting with wands. So this is small bumps in the road. Like, this competition isn't going to drag on forever. I'm going to venture to say you're likely going to come out on top here still, Leo. But just kind of a heads up that there seems to be some competition this month. The next card that we have, though, is the World card. The World card is the last card of the Major Arcana, and it indicates like completion of a goal or lesson. So I actually like to see this because, again, whatever this competition that's happening, it's going to be coming to an end before the end of November. So I like to see that. The next card that we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is very gossipy, curious card. This is like prying eyes. I always tell people when I see this card, avoid gossip, avoid drama, avoid water cooler talk. Especially because we're in this competition, I feel like it could be used against you. Or let's say you say you're going to apply for a job and then this other person's going to apply for that same job. So a little bit of quiet this month could really benefit you financially and career-wise, Leo. Let me clarify and see if I can give you any other messages on this column. The first card we have is the Four of Cups. This is a card of feeling apathy, feeling lack of fulfillment. Makes sense. When we're in this point of competition, that's not typically great feelings associated with it. But moving right on down, I actually said this before I pulled the card that I thought that you would come out on top, you would come out successful. And you definitely will. The Three of Cups is a card of celebration. This is also a card of friendship too, so if this puts any strain on like friendships or coworker relationships or anything of that sort, they'll resolve. But again, you definitely come out on top, successful here, completing and winning. So I like to see that nice pairing. And at the bottom here, we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very free-spirited, very creative. By sharing, it could really kind of hinder your ability to be creative. But I want to say the main thing here with this Knight of Wands on top of it, it's like you don't need to keep everything secret. It's short-lived. So you'll like have freedom to talk again, but let this thing get completed first. Okay, moving on, we're going to move into our next column, which is anything related to love. Similar to the money card, I actually just bought a new deck. So there's like a money summary card to start with. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. So in this love column, we're going to talk about anything that you associate with love. Family, friends, relationship, marriage, children, you name it, Leo. Again, whatever you associate with love. The first card that we have is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands, anytime we have an ace card, is a card of newness. The Ace of Wands is typically new project, new inspiration, new urge to create. I do see some of you going into a new relationship here, creating a new relationship. And for others of you, this is about creating a new love habit. Maybe this is date night. Maybe this is at the end of the night you share something positive with each other. This could be like a gym routine. I see you creating some sort of new relationship or some sort of new habit there. The next card that we have is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card of waiting. Things, I don't know, things just seem to be moving a little bit slower for you this month than you would like, Leo. Luckily, there's not much left of the month and it'll be over before we know it. But something pertaining to love just seems to be moving really slower. Maybe you do start doing the date nights that we were just talking about, and then you like have to end up waiting a week or so to like start the date nights. Something along that energy potentially. The next card that we have is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions. It's also a card of isolation. I feel like some of you are going to kind of want to pull back this month. And that doesn't feel like the right move. Like, I feel like isolating yourself, too much alone time is kind of hindering whatever could be happening in your love life. Let's clarify that though and see what other messages I can provide you. The first clarifier we have is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a card of giving or receiving help. It's very generous, very, very generous. This could be something super simple to like use. I remember we were talking about new habit, new pattern here. Like you could start packing your spouse's lunch every day. Or if that person always sends the good morning text, maybe you start to send the good morning text. It's something small, but something super meaningful. And in terms of giving or receiving, I feel like it's something that you're doing. But it's not like major, like you put in 90% of the effort or anything like that. But it's that little thing that's going to be really new and special for the relationship. The next card that we have is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is desire for something you don't have. And this unfortunately pairs really nicely with the Two of Wands because this is like saying you want something. The Two of Wands is saying there's some waiting for it to happen. So that's why you're like, you really, really want something, but it's just happening really slow here. Then at the bottom here, my goodness, we have the Eight of Swords on top of the Eight of Swords. Again, this is still coming through as like isolating is not the right thing. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let me just throw an example out there, Leo. If you have an argument and then you just like ghost the person and stop talking to them, or like that doesn't seem to be the right move. So pulling back, isolating, being silent doesn't seem to be the favorable thing for you this month. So just keep that in mind. Okay, let's move on to our fifth and final column now, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide, something to carry into the remainder of the month. We have a summary card of moderation. I always like the moderation card. Moderation is the key to everything. Work in moderation, exercise in moderation, eat junk food in moderation, spend money in moderation. So just be thinking moderation as you go through the remainder of November, but let's see what messages we have here. The first card we have is the Wheel of Fortune. For those of you who've watched my videos before, you've probably heard me say this. I really like the moderation, or I really like the Wheel of Fortune card. It's a card of good luck. It's turning point. It's just good. It's such a good shift in energy. I feel like you're shifting towards moderation. Maybe some of you have been like spending a ton of money and you're like, whoa, I gotta like chill out. Or maybe this is creating a healthy new habit, working out, or diet, exercise, whatever it may be. Again, we just seem to be at a turning point here. The next card that we have is the Justice card. The Justice card, Leo, is one of those ones that always has a favorable outcome for you. It's win-win solutions. It's cause and effect. Moderation is going to pay off really quickly. Like you're going to see your savings account grow, or you're going to see the number on the scale drop. It's like almost instant gratification is kind of what this is coming through as. And at the bottom here, we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is busy. This just means busy. When I see this card, there's something different happening in each of these cups. I will say it also makes it kind of challenging to commit to something because there's so many things happening. But whatever this moderation is, whatever this change is, stick with it because again, it's like that instant gratification there. Clarifying this last row for us here. The first card we have is the Fool card. This is a card of beginning something new. This is new beginnings, taking chances, going after something new. Again, this is turning the corner with the Wheel of Fortune onto something fresh, wonderful, new. Not at all surprised to see that. The next card that we have is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles has a lot of meanings. This is a money card, so there could be some more money coming in for some of you. But this is really a self-sufficient card, so you have to put in the effort for you to reap the reward. Nobody's going to be able to do this specific thing for you, Leo. The next card that we have is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a card of wishes coming true. So again, this is like instant gratification. If you stick with this, you're going to get whatever you want like right away, Leo. So just keep that in mind. Okay, now at this point, we're going to take a look at our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, Leo, you can pause the video and think of them here. But question number 1 is the Two of Spades. This is number 34 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the 10 of Spades. This is number 30 card. That one's a no. And question number 3 is the 7 of Hearts. This is number 21 card. That's going to be a yes. So yes, no, yes for you. Taking a look at your crystal of the month, we pulled a card from our Healing Stones deck earlier this month. Your crystal this month is red jasper, which gives you courage to act. It gives you energy, strength, perseverance, and courage. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your healing note says, love creates miracles, heals all wounds, and purifies all energies. Thank you so much, Leo, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, if you haven't yet subscribed, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. Additionally, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Leo, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your November.